Hello everyone, this is part 8 of What If Naruto Was Reborn as Kyuubi, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Neji opened his eyes. He looked around him to see where he was, trying to recollect what happened. He remembered that he was with Tenten in the forest on their way to Suna. He then remembered someone attacking and him blacking out. Putting everything together, he realized that he and Tenten were captured by whoever this enemy is. The area was dark, with everything in wet stone. A few torches were scattered through the halls. He looked ahead and saw Tenten before him. Her arms were raised up to the ceiling with chains wrapped around wrists, connecting to the ceiling. Her feet were also chained and connected down to the ground. Tenten. Neji tried moving, but found himself chained in the same position as her. Neji. Tenten looked up and saw that Neji was awake. Before any more interaction could be made, the sound of a chamber door opening was heard. The two Konoha shinobi looked in the direction of the sound and saw a group of dark figures approaching them. Looks like they're finally awake, one of them said. With the light from the torch, they revealed themselves to be the sound nins that attacked them before. What do you want from us? Neji asked, his face giving a look that seemed to say, I'm gonna kill you. We're under orders of Orochimaru-sama. The leading member answered. He approached the two and the minimal light revealed his idini. Kabuto, I have questions, and you two are going to answer them. I'm not saying anything. Neji hissed out. Suddenly, a swift punch came and met with Neji's face. The force pushed him back, but the chains kept him from falling, or from rubbing the bruise. Watch your mouth, boy, the puncher said. Now, when we spotted you, there were few others with you. Kabuto said, was Uzumaki Naruto with you? If so, when did he return? If not, where is he? You're not going to get anything out of me. Neji said, still holding strong to his words. Give him another. Kabuto nodded to the one who previously punched him. Neji felt another punch to his face. The pressure he was getting from the chains didn't make it any better. The punch left AC on his cheek, with began to flow out small traces of B. Maybe if you're a little more cooperative, I may make your stay a little more comfortable. Kabuto said with surprising sympathy. Just answer my questions, and I'll let you free of those chains. Don't tell him anything. Tenten called out. Kabuto turned around and gave Tenten a punch for her. You keep quiet. Your turn will come eventually. He then reached out and grabbed Tenten's face, holding her cheeks between his hand. I personally don't like hurting women, but Orochimaru-sama's wishes come before mine. Keep your hands off her. Neji screamed. Kabuto faced Neji and in anger, he made the punches, landing several punches on his body. Neji grunted in pain. Tenten closed her eyes and faced away, unable to bear seeing him get tea. Answer my question. Kabuto demanded with a rage-filled voice, tell me now. Neji inhaled deeply, trying to fight the pain he had in his body. I'd rather That can be arranged. Kabuto pulled out a kunai from his punch and held it to Neji's tea. He then looked over to Tenten, hearing her make quiet whimpers of fear. On second thought, he removed the kunai and put it back in his pouch. He walked over to Tenten and forced her body to turn to face Neji by twisting the chains. You may be willing to risk your life, but are you willing to risk hers? He grabbed Tenten's hair and landed on strong punch to her face. Tenten. Neji forced himself to move, but with his feet off the ground, he could do nothing. Kabuto punched Tenten in her stomach and connected with a knee to the same spot. I'm not too sure as to how much she can handle. Kabuto landed more punches to her. By the time he took a moment to stop, her face was bruised and Don't say anything. Tenten forced out from the immense pain in her. Kabuto punched her cheek again and continued to brutally beat her senseless. Neji closed his eyes, trying to hope that everything that was happening was a bad dream and that he would wake up, but the sound of the punches and Tenten screaming in pain proved it to be useless. The pain that was happening finally made him snap. Stop! Neji screamed out. Tears were in his eyes, unable to see Tenten get hurt anymore. Please stop, I'll tell you everything. Gaara, they're all here. Temari said as she entered the Kazekige's office. Then bring them in, please. Gaara replied. Temari opened the door further and the group of Konoha shinobi entered the office. While many of them were familiar in looks, Naruto stood out from the others with his appearance, but Gaara chose to save his question on that for another time. There are only 10 of you. Gaara noted, I was informed that 12 were to arrive. We ran into trouble. Kakashi spoke, we lost Neji and Tenten to unknown captors. With the situation, numbers are going to mean everything. Gaara said. His concern for his village hasn't changed, but this time, he wasn't planning to simply give up his life for it, he planned to fight for it first. But right now, I must have you all assigned to your posts. By all means, give us our assignments. Guy said, we came to carry out a mission. Very well. Gaara grabbed a sheet of paper from his desk and handed it to Kakashi, the names of your students are all there. Arigato, Kazekige-sama. Kakashi took the paper and looked over it. Okay, Sakura, Naruto, and Kiba are to be posted at the northwest tower. Sai and Lee are to go to the southern gates. Hinata and Shino will guard the entrance at the western stronghold. Guy, Yamato, and I are to join the rest of the guards at the front wall, but with the absence of Neji and Tenten, Yamato and I will take their place at the southeast tower. The students all nodded in agreement, all except for Naruto, who seemed to look disappointed for being assigned with Sakura. So, Naruto was with them. Kabuto had just left the cell that the Konoha shinobi were in. Perhaps that one I saw back then was him. He remembered the blonde shinobi that he saw before he left with his comrades. He knew how to tell if someone was Naruto by the whiskers on his cheeks, but the distance between the two made it difficult to notice any distinguishing features on the face. They are heading for Suna, gather some more sound nins. He gave the order to the 3 others. The shinobi bowed in respect and left to gather their troops. Naruto, Sakura, and Kiba sat around at their post, looking at the distance for any sign of trouble. While Kiba and Sakura kept their eyes out to the horizon, Naruto was resting on the floor. Naruto, you know, it'd be nice if you contributed once in a while. Kiba said. I just can't help but wonder if Neji and Tenten are alright. Naruto answered back. I'm sure they'll be fine. Sakura said, I know Neji will make it through it all. Well, you know, this wouldn't have happened if you never stopped to chase after those guys. Kiba said, if we had stayed on the path like everyone else, all of us would be here. Oh, so you're saying it's my fault that Neji and Tenten are captured? Naruto asked, getting up from the floor. If you didn't stop to check up on your dog, and instead helped me fight off the attackers, they'd still be here. Let's not forget, the attackers only came, cause you followed them. Kiba retaliated, Akamaru wouldn't have been injured if you stayed with the group. Kiba-kun. Kiba turned to see who it was that called him. From below, just a few feet from the tower, Hinata was with Reiko and Kanara. Before he could respond with a smile or a wave, Naruto threw a fist at the teenager and knocked him to the ground. You are an A, you know that. Naruto yelled, you think you can still treat me less, just because of a few mishaps in the past. It's been 3 years, can't you see me some slack? It was only a matter of time before Hinata and Reiko arrived to the top of the tower. Naruto, what's gotten into you? Sakura yelled, seeing Kiba on the ground and Naruto looking very upset. You stay out of this. Naruto pointed to Sakura. Of course, with the blindfold, she couldn't see his eyes, but how his eyebrows were slanted, he was indeed very angry. You've been showing me such little respect, even when I prove myself to be strong and save you, you still treat me like crap. What more do I have to do? Why do you treat me like the weak one when the real weak shinobi is you? Sakura gasped as she tried to take in everything Naruto had said to her. The words hurt her deeply, so deeply, that she couldn't stop the tears from coming out from her eyes. Are you alright? Reiko asked, helping Kiba up by grabbing onto his arms and lifting him. I'm fine. Kiba said, I just have to straighten this guy out. You see, you think you can treat me like a kid. I trained myself and became a Juin at the exams held in the Lightning Country. Naruto yelled again, turning away from Sakura. And just so you know, I was one of the first few to pass. I've had better knowledge in leadership than you, Naruto. The number of tricks you learned doesn't prove anything. Kiba was now getting just as angry as the blonde ninja. We were put together for this mission because I'm the better leader and you need that leadership. You can't expect to get some kind of extra respect after coming home from a 3-year disappearance. I left because I needed to have better control of the Kyuubi without hurting anyone. Naruto yelled, knowing full well, he no longer has to hide the secret. I'm better off making my own choices, so get used to me saying, no. You may be a Junin now, but you still lack the skills for one. You're irresponsible, undisciplined, and most importantly. Kiba took in a deep breath, you're weaker than me. Weaker, huh? Naruto asked, you know what, my canine friend? Naruto reached for the katana that was strapped to the back of his waist. He slowly unsheathed the blade and brought it forward. I'm gonna have to disagree with on that. He ignored the looks of worry coming from the girls. He wanted to settle the score with Kiba. Don't do this, Naruto. Kiba insisted, I don't want to hurt you. Well, I want to hurt you. Naruto responded. He clenched his left fist tightly, giving the sound of his knuckles cracking. Kiba sighed as he took out his two sayas from the back of his belt. You're going to regret this. Akamaru moved to Kiba's side, growling at Naruto. Akamaru, stay out of this, this is between the two of us. Meaning him and Naruto. Akamaru did as ordered and walked over to where the girls were. The two stood facing each other for their fight. Hinata, Sakura, and Reiko simply stood to one side, knowing that words wouldn't stop them. Naruto grinned as his body slowly began to fade away. Invisibility. Kiba remarked, he didn't use any scroll or hand signs for that. It must be manipulated chakra, like his Rasengan. You might be able to avoid my eyes, but I can still smell you. Kiba quickly shot back and threw his arm up with the sai gripped tightly. Though eyes failed to show what just happened, the sound of something metal clanging with the sai made it clear that Naruto attempted an attack from behind. Kiba then spun around, delivering a roundhouse kick to the invisible genin. The sound of Naruto grunting in pain as well as the trace of dust from a wall revealed that Kiba had hit him and sent him hitting the wall. Naruto's body slowly faded back to view. Okay, I guess that won't work. He ran at Kiba with his sword forward, ready to make a vertical C. Kiba blocked the blow with his sai. Attempting to attack, he used his other free hand to try and Naruto's C, but Naruto quickly backed away from it. Kiba ran at Naruto with his two sayas ready to L the blonde ninja's F. As he got closer, Naruto simply waved his sword in front of him. When Kiba came in range, he suddenly felt something stopping him. A force of unknown energy emitted and knocked sayas from Kiba's grip. The force also brought Kiba sliding backwards. You still think I'm weaker? Naruto asked. I spent my training manipulating chakra for uses that no other ninja in Konoha can do. Kiba, now angry at this, got down on his hands and legs. He made a small growl at Naruto, ready to take things further. He jumped forward, with his clawed fingers out and forward. Naruto his katana, but Kiba's claws deflected the blow. Kiba twisted his body so that his hands were the first to touch the ground. Once they did, he thrusted his legs out, aiming for Naruto's face. Naruto quickly ducked to dodge the 2 feet, but met with a fist to his face. Naruto staggered back from the blow, trying to regain balance. As he stood with his katana still gripped in his right hand, a small trace of beat trailed down from his left nostril. Naruto brought the blade of his katana closer to his face. Futen, Fusha Shua no Jutsu, wind release, windmill attacking blades technique. The blade began to emit a bright blue aura of wind energy. With one swift swing of his blade, he forward, unleashing the wind, which took form of a 4-winged windmill. The wings were each bladed and spun rapidly towards Kiba. Suga, L Fang. Kiba spun at high speed, seeming to look like a miniature tornado. The two spinning ennies collided and a large explosion occurred. Everyone that was watching shielded their eyes from the debris. When it all settled, Naruto and Kiba were still standing. He's not going to back down anytime soon. Kiba panted heavily, he really is a lot stronger than before. Kiba charged forward, ready to use both his hands to claw Naruto. Before Naruto had time to counter it, Kiba's clawed hands were on his T, the nails were digging into his F. Naruto grabbed onto Kiba's wrists, trying to fight away the stinging pain of Kiba's fingernails into his skin. Naruto held his ground and Kiba tried to force Naruto down. As the two struggled for dominance, the girls showed great concern of the outcome. No matter who wins, they'll possibly be down by one more teammate. We need to get one of our senseis, Sakura said, They have to stop this. With a quick bark of agreement, Akamaru dashed out of the tower, heading to wherever Kakashi, Kurenai, or Guy was. This gave the girls the time to hopefully try and stop the fight, but were unable to know how to start that. The two shinobi still stood in the same position. As one was trying to overpower the other, B began to leak out of the sea from Naruto's arm. Kiba's nails still remained in place, trying to force Naruto down. Kiba-kun, Naruto-kun. Stop, please, Hinata begged. The last thing she wanted to see was Naruto defeated with heavy wounds, but one way or another one would lose. As Naruto held his ground, he began to feel something stir in his mind. Use my power, show him the true meaning of being stronger. No, I don't need you. I'm in control. He insulted you. You really want him to humiliate you in front of those females. Think of what would happen if you lost. I don't need you. I can handle this myself. Are you saying that in hopes of simply beating him in this fight? Or do you want him to know that you're stronger than him? Whether you want it or not, you're getting my power. Naruto's struggle for control began to build up adrenaline inside him. With each passing second, he felt that something was happening to him. He finally lost resistance over it. A small trace of red chakra formed over the Junin's body, waving around him like a sheet of clouds. His whiskers thickened and his teeth sharpened as he slowly began to tap into Kyuubi's power unwillingly. From the back of his body, two trails of the chakra sprouted out, forming tails on him. With new strength in him, Naruto made his move. Swinging his right arm, he s at Kiba's stomach, forcing him to stagger back and release his nails from Naruto's en. With his back turned, Naruto flipped backwards and landed two kicks on Kiba's head as each leg went to the ground. He then thrusted towards Kyuubi, his left shoulder with the katana and pinning him down to the ground. Naruto stood over the defeated shinobi, growling with each exhale of a breath. Suddenly it hit him. He left the village 3 years ago to prevent something like this from happening, but look at him now. He wasn't able to stop Kyuubi from taking control. Shocked in realization, he removed the blade from Kiba's shoulder and slowly backed away from him. The chakra cloak slowly dispersed from around his body. He now realized what he had done. He s at Kiba's stomach, kicked his head causing another C, and s his left shoulder. All this, leading up to him almost k him. He looked over to his side and saw how scared the three female ninjas were, the look of fear in Hinata's eyes and small traces of tears Naruto more painfully than Sasuke's Chidori. He ran. He went to the edge of the tower and jumped off. Naruto-kun. Hinata ran over to the edge, looking down as Naruto fell. Kakashi arrived with Akamaru. What happened? Naruto's feet hit the ground below, but his balance didn't cooperate with him. He lost his footing and fell forward on the sandy ground. He quickly got up and continued to run, not looking back, nor looking at where he was going. He didn't care where he ran to, just as long as it was away from all of them. Kakashi watched as the blonde-haired boy continued to run. He knew that Naruto wouldn't run out of the village, but he would still be hard to find within. He looked down to where Naruto had landed and saw that the katana was left there. He looked back to Kiba and his wounds. Sakura, can you heal him? It'll take some time, but yeah. Sakura answered, still shaken by what she witnessed. Hinata, find him. Kakashi turned to the Hyuga. Hi. Byakugan. The veins formed next to Hinata's pearl eyes. She looked ahead, remembering the direction Naruto ran. As she increased her focus, she found him. I see him. Suddenly, Naruto stopped running. As if he knew Hinata was looking, he turned back and faced her. Hinata knew Naruto couldn't see her, but couldn't help but feel uneasy when he looked at her. He then continued running, but as he did, his appearance in Hinata's eyes began to change. He suddenly began to fade from view, only leaving behind his chakra circulatory system to her view. Then suddenly, that too faded from her sight. Oh no. What is it? Kakashi asked. He disappeared. Hinata answered, I can't see him. How are you feeling, Kiba-kun? Reiko asked. Kiba groaned slightly as he got up from the ground. I'll be fine. Akamaru walked over to his side, licking his cheek as a sign of his relieved emotion. Where's Naruto? He added it in a tone that didn't seem angry at all. It almost seemed like he was worried about him. He ran off. Kakashi said, Hinata is still trying to find him. You're lucky that he didn't do anything serious. Sakura said, otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to heal you. Well, thanks anyways. Kiba smiled. He looked over back at Reiko. Sorry, that this had to be how we meet again. Reiko giggled, I'm just glad you're alright. Kanara walked over to Akamaru as the two made the greeting. Hinata walked around the village, asking people if they had seen a Konoha shinobi with a blindfold on, but none of them were able to help. Knowing Naruto, he would probably be somewhere where people can't get to easily. She thought the best hope of finding him was to ask Gaara for help. She dropped her Byakugan and made her way to Gaara's office. The guards allowed her in, mainly because Temari was there to let Hinata off with no questioning. When she walked in, Gaara was sitting at his desk, filling out some doents. Gaara-sama. Hinata bowed. Gaara is enough. Gaara said, what can I do for you? Hinata. He never really had to deal with so many names, for he didn't expect to have to know names in the past. That all changed when he met Naruto and gained his first friend. Naruto-kun is missing. Hinata answered, I was hoping you might know where he is. I would really like to help you, but I have not seen him since I gave out your assigned posts. Gaara said apologetically. Before Hinata could say anything else or leave the office, both her and Gaara heard something outside the office on the roof. It sounded like an argument between two men. How did someone get up there? Gaara asked himself. Nikito woke up from his apparent sleep. He found himself in a dark room, resting on a stone slab of a bed, with his arms and legs strapped down. He was cold, the stone was cold enough, but he had no clothes on, except for his pants. A streak of light filled the room as the door of the room opened. Well, looks like you're finally awake. The figure entering the room said. Who are you? Nikito asked, where am I? Where you are is of no importance right now. As for me, my name is Orochimaru. He replied, I have chosen you to be my next successful experiment. Naruto leaned on the railing on the roof of the Kazekage office. No one would look for him up here, since they would have to either fly to the top or go through the guards inside the building. All that training, for nothing. Naruto cursed at himself, 3 years, and I have almost nothing to show for it. What can you expect? Kyuubi's voice appeared, but not in his mind. This time, the Kyuubi's voice was through Naruto's own lips. As Kyuubi was the one in control of the voice, his eyes were the red color of the fox. Just go away, Naruto said, his eyes suddenly changing back to blue. I can't. I am you, as long as you're around, so am I. Kyuubi said. I could have almost Kiba. Naruto yelled, I never wanted to hurt him. It's all because of you. Actually, that was you alone. Kyuubi laughed, the thought of wanting to hurt him was your own mind. I simply escalated that to wanting to K him. You're lying. Naruto yelled, I would never hurt my friends. Friends. Kyuubi laughed in amusement, you call them your friends. You remember how they all treated you in the past. They thought you were weak. Every single one of them despised you for your patheticness. That is why you can't save that Uchiha brat. Don't talk about Sasuke like that. Naruto yelled some more. I should have guessed you'd be here. Naruto looked back and saw Gaara standing in front of the stairway that led to his office. I won't bother asking how you got here. Gaara said, since every shinobi is endless to their own secrets. Hinata came up the stairs, standing behind the Kazekage. Are you alright, Naruto-kun? She asked. I'm fine. Naruto answered. I thought I heard you talking to someone up here. Gaara said, it seemed like you were angry at this person. There was no one else here. Naruto answered, not wanting to explain his sinflict with Kyuubi. Just me. I heard it too. Hinata said, I heard you yelling about not wanting to hurt your friends. Naruto just stayed by the railing, not wanting to talk much more. He's had enough for the time, he almost Kiba and now Kyuubi is becoming a bigger pain than before. But he was surprised to realize that Gaara and Hinata had just heard Kyuubi's voice as well. This wasn't going to be good. Well, now that you found him, I'll leave you two alone. Gaara turned to make his way back down the stairs. Hinata respectfully sidestepped to give him passage to the stairs. I have some doents to deal with. Naruto didn't bother to turn back to say goodbye to Gaara, he just stayed put, by the railing. Hinata walked over to him, slowly for she didn't know if he was still calm, considering what she witnessed. For the few minutes alone, neither of them said anything. Hinata didn't know what to say, and Naruto didn't want to talk. With a deep breath, Naruto took the guts to ask his question. Hinata, are you afraid of me? Naruto asked. Hinata slightly trembled when she was asked. She didn't want to tell him, but she couldn't lie to him. What happened with Kiba-kun, it did scare me. Hinata held her hands together and brought them close to her. See, for that moment, when I saw you standing over him, I didn't know who you were. Naruto felt so hurt when he heard that. Hinata, the one girl who actually had feelings beyond a simple friendship, she was scared of who he was. I'm sorry, Naruto said, I never wanted to scare anyone. I especially didn't want to hurt anyone. He cursed at himself. He left Konoha 3 years ago to train on how to suppress Kyuubi, but it failed him. He had no progress for it. It seemed that the training made the Kyuubi more difficult to manage with. I know you didn't, Hinata said. She turned around to face him. I know that you're a person with a good heart, you would never hurt anyone intentionally. Naruto turned to face the Hyuga. He was surprised to see how much she cared for him. Hinata. Hinata's heart skipped a beat when his face turned to her. It was a feeling that she never really felt before. In the past, she would always blush at his presence, but the feeling she had now, it was much more. Her heart began to beat fast and her cheeks began to warm up. She prayed to herself that the feeling of being alone with Naruto wouldn't end. She saw that Naruto was slowly moving towards her. As if it was a reflex, she moved towards him, closing her eyes and tilting her head to meet his lips with her own. Just as the two lips were about to touch, a sudden yell caught their ears. Sound nins. As soon as Shinobi yelled, sound nins at the south gates. Hinata looked down from the tower to look at the direction of the south gates. Naruto-kun, I think we should. When she turned to face Naruto, he was no longer there. Naruto-kun. Why did you bring me here? Nikito asked. I witnessed you battle with a certain boy. Orochimaru said, and I must say, your talents impress me. He remembered how Nikito had such incredible attacks through the fire release jutsus. He's seen fire techniques before, but the type that Nikito has done was new. I'd like to offer you an agreement. Maybe if you let me loose I might actually hear it. Nikito said, struggling to break out of his bonds. Not yet. Orochimaru grinned, I am willing to make you stronger and restore your clan. In return, you offer your allegiance to me. What can you possibly do to make me stronger? Nikito asked. I'm a scientist of sorts. Orochimaru smiled, I've been conducting experiments on creating the most powerful shinobi ever. He thought back to his past experiments. Yamato, Anko, Sasuke, Kimimaro, and Jugo. While you were sleeping, I've been experimenting with your body. He noticed that Nikito was giving him a look of fear and anger, but don't worry, there's no mark to show it. What the hell did you do to me? Nikito asked. I gave you some new chakra to add to your fire jutsus. Orochimaru walked to Nikito and proceeded to undo the bonds. But know this, you try to K me, then you will surely S. He unstrapped the last of the bonds and backed away, giving Nikito room to get off the bed. So, what can I do now? Nikito asked, not feeling any different, or looking any different. You are from the Stone Village. Orochimaru said, a village hidden from the very country it originates from, learning the many ways of earth-based jutsus. I felt that you should have some strength from your lineage. He chuckled as he spoke, now go ahead, focus on both fire and earth and see what happens. Nikito brought his hands out and opened his palms widely. He closed his eyes and concentrated on channeling both his fire element and earth. Orochimaru looked on in amusement, waiting for the results of his time and experimenting. Nikito's right hand began to be covered in flames and his left was swirling with a large amount of dirt. As Nikito looked at his hands in amusement, he did something, not understanding why he did it. He brought both hands together. The two elements combined and a burst of liquid red came out of his hands. When the substance dropped on the floor, Nikito looked in pure fascination while Orochimaru grinned his evil grin of success. This is incredible. Nikito exclaimed, you actually managed to give me the earth element too. And I gave you a new element to use. Orochimaru said, by combining fire and earth, you have created the new Yugenton, lava release. The lava won't harm you. Nikito noticed that a large portion of the lava was on him, but it didn't burn at all. He wiped the molten earth off his skin. Stay here and practice with it. Orochimaru said as he walked out of the room, I have other matters to attend to. When he closed the door, he locked it, making sure Nikito wouldn't escape. Do you really think that would hold him? Kabuto asked, who was standing outside the whole time. Lava is a powerful substance, Orochimaru-sama. That room can handle the hottest of temperatures. Orochimaru answered, lava will do no harm to the place. What did you get from the two? Naruto is with them. Kabuto answered, the Sound Nin have already left. They should be there by now. The shinobi of Suna and Konoha gathered at the south gates, fending off against the Sound Nins that intruded into the village. A small group of the Sound Nin surrounded Shino, all ready to strike at the first sign of Shino's movements. He simply stood there, with his hands in his coat pockets. I'll warn all of you to back away, Shino said calmly. The Sound Nin didn't listen, they all moved towards him. When they reached an arm's length away, they all suddenly began to cry in pain and dropped to the floor. All over their body were insects, some crawling over their skin and some inside their clothes. Lee spun around and delivered a heel kick to a Sound Nin. As this one fell to the ground unconscious from the hit, more came at the green-clad shinobi. Lee darted forward, leaving only a blur of green behind him. As he passed by each of the Sound Nin that were running at him, they all stopped in their tracks and fell to the floor. Lee stood proudly over the fallen enemies. Sakura fought off her portion of the Sound Nin by simply punching them and sending them flying at each other, but wasn't going to be enough. She needed to do more than punch them away. Sakura-san. Lee came running at Sakura, catch me. What? Sakura was confused as to why Lee was asking for something like this right now. Has he gone crazy? Why does he want a hug when they are in the middle of a battle? Lee jumped and dived towards Sakura with his hands forward. In a reflex, Sakura reached out and grabbed Lee's hands. By now, she had no clue what to do, but Lee planned it out. With his body still off the ground, he thrusted himself to the side, forcing Sakura to spin on the spot while Lee's legs kicked at the Sound Nin around them both. Unable to hold on any more, Sakura released her grip and Lee delivered one last kick to the face of one more Sound Nin. Nice plan. Sakura smiled. Arigato. Lee smiled back. Yamato and Sai fended off against the Sound Nin in their area. Sai had his short sword out, while Yamato could only rely on ninjutsu. A group of the Sound Nin charged forward. Yamato prepared some hand seals and called forth a jutsu, Mokuton, Shichuru no Jutsu, wood release, prison of four pillars technique. A large amount of wood sprouted from the ground below and formed a cage that trapped the Sound Nin. I could have handled them, Captain Yamato. Sai said. Well then, deal with those. Yamato pointed to the Sound Nin that were coming at the two from another side. Guy and Kakashi fought off the Sound Nin with Guy attacking with an all-out taijutsu spree and Kakashi using his Sharingan to get the advantage over the fight. What do you say we make a bet on who can take out the most? Guy asked with a smile. The loser treats the winner to lunch when we return to Konoha. You really want to make a joke of things now? Kakashi asked, not amused at all. He ducked and delivered an U to a Sound Nin that tried to attempt an attack from behind. Guy kicked away 3 Sound Nin that were charging from his left side. I guess you're right. He spun around and his swinging arm at a Sound Nin's face, knocking the ninja out cold. Kakashi closed his eyes. Guy, hold them off while I prepare for this. Guy nodded as he stood closer to his rival, making sure he was protected for whatever he was preparing for. As the Sound Nin came towards the two, Guy beat them all back one by one. In time, Kakashi was finished and opened his eyes. I'm ready. His Sharingan eye was now transformed into the Mangekyu form. He turned his attention to the coming Sound Nins. Focusing his chakra, he unleashed his technique. With one spot in mind, a small vortex formed and everything around it swirled into the small spot. Fortunately for him, none of his allies were in the area to be affected by his Mangekyu. In a matter of seconds the vortex faded and the Sound Nins were all gone. Kakashi panted in relief. If he'd had used it 3 years ago, it would have taken him minutes to summon the vortex, let alone have the Mangekyu prepared in time. But with dedicated training, he was now able to have the portal ready in seconds. Guy looked in amazement as the Sound Nins have disappeared from sight. So, Guy. Kakashi turned to the green-clad Junin, I guess you're treating me to lunch. AI. Guy stumbled in a dumbstruck reaction, I thought we weren't going to bet. Kiba and Reiko fought together with their canine companions, holding off against the Sound Nin. Juujin Bunshin, beast out of human clone. Akamaru transformed into an exact copy of Kiba, but he wasn't ready yet. Jinju Konbi Henge, Sautaro, man-beast combination transformation, double-headed wolf. The two merged into one, changing into what the jutsu's name was, a double-headed wolf. While this beast charged off at the sound nin, Reiko and Kanara stayed on the lines of more simple things. Reiko sat on Kanara as the two charged at the sound nins. When they were at a close range, Reiko jumped off and pulled out two butterfly daggers. She landed right in the middle of the group and hacked away at them. The two-headed wolf stomped around, at the sound nin. It wasn't long before one of them got smart and managed to attack from behind. The giant beast topped on its knees and changed back into Kiba and Akamaru. A sound nin ran up to them both and kicked Akamaru hard enough to send him dragging along the sand and to the wall of the village. Akamaru. Kiba ran over to his side, dodging the blows from the sound nin while he ran. Are you alright? He paid too much attention to his companion that he didn't notice the sound nin that was about to K him. The masked ninja had a sword in hand and ran towards the two. Kiba-kun. Reiko tried to run over and help him, but the sound nin that she was battling prevented her from doing so. Kiba looked over and saw how close the sound nin was. He knew no one was able to save him in the situation he was in now. Kankuro won't be able to save him with a puppet like last time. As the sound nin came closer for the K, a sudden force threw him to the side and onto the wall of the village border. What? In a rippling entrance, Naruto appeared, standing in front of Kiba, with his right hand was open and facing forward. Naruto. Kiba was both surprised and glad to see Naruto standing in front of him. Kiba. Naruto kneeled by his side and checked for any wounds. You alright? I'm fine. Kiba answered, thanks for saving me. I couldn't leave a friend to Naruto said. He helped Kiba onto his feet. He looked ahead as the small group sound nin came rushing in. Naruto didn't have his katana, so he would have to rely on something else. One sound nin jumped up, trying to strike Naruto from above while the others attacked straight on. Naruto threw his left hand up, which stopped the dropping sound nin in his tracks. While he stayed suspended in the air, Naruto picked off the others by pushing them away with his invisible force of energy. With them down, Naruto threw the floating sound nin away. Behind him, another sound nin charged at Naruto, swinging his katana and ready to strike. Just as he came in reach, Kiba swiftly got in front and him with his sayas. Naruto quickly turned around and saw the sound nin grunting in pain, just before he fell to the floor. While he fell, Naruto grabbed a hold of the katana. Not bad. He looked at the design of the sword. This'll do. The two looked as more sound nins came at them. There's just no end to them. Kiba said, we can't take them all out. Suten, Sabaku Gufu, sand release, desert tornado. A sudden burst of sand shot up from the ground and began to spin rapidly, forming a large tornado. The sound nin in the area was sucked into the swirling sand and sent high up to the sky, only to drop back down, plummeting to their deaths. What was that? Naruto asked. He looked up and saw Gaara slowly descending down from a cloud of sand. I'll deal with this, Gaara said. While the others joined with Naruto and Kiba, Gaara stood before them all, to make sure his jutsus did no harm to them. Ever since Gaara lost his Biju, he lost a large portion of his ability to manipulate sand. Kakashi said, panting heavily as his Mangekyo Sharingan returned to its original form. He trained himself into finding an alternative way to use sand, and this is how it paid off. Naruto stared at Gaara in amazement. He's seen the highest level of power Gaara had, but a jutsu like that, it was something completely new to him. Like Yamato, Gaara has created a jutsu that breaks the boundaries of the 5 chakra elements. Kakashi said, by combining wind and earth, he created the new elemental jutsu Suten, sand release. The surviving sound nins all gathered and threw kunais at Gaara's direction. Suna no Tate, shield of sand, the sand around Gaara rose up and formed a wall between him and the sound nins. The kunai held the walls and remained in place. When the sand settled, the kunais fell. The sound nin didn't show signs of retreating, so Gaara knew he had to dispose of them all. Ryuza Bakuryu. The sand from beneath the sound nin's feet began to shake. Suddenly, they all found themselves being pulled down into the ground. With their feet immobilized, they were unable to jump free. In time, they were all trapped underneath the sand. With all of them buried, Gaara prepared for the final technique. He shot his hands to the sand, Sabuku Taiso. A large crushing sound of sand was heard, as well as the muffled scream of the sound nins trapped underneath. From the distance, more sound nin came to the village, almost as if there was a whole country worth of ninjas. It seems our enemy has been producing an army. Gaara said as he saw the sound nins approaching, it looks like we have a war. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.